Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side. So once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now you may notice that the channel has the screen that you're watching at has actually a little bit changes with the inclusion of this new link here. I noticed there has been a lot of inquiry in regards to global talent, independent visa subclass 1858. I've got an actual inquiry form there, so if you're interested about GTI visa, which is the most prioritized visa category nowadays, why don't you click on that link, or perhaps just typing those link mecnews.com/GTI form, put in your detail and we shall contact with you apparently. Okay, now just some updates of information and also visa news. Obviously we are looking towards next Tuesday, 25th of October, where the budget finally, now the new government, the Labour government of Australia, has now first time putting their budget for the nation. Obviously there's a lot of things required to be fixed, and we shall have a look at that one there. Now before we looking into those information and media articles, a lot of people say, so why don't I update some of the information about the medical checks if you're unsure visa applicant? Well, I did want to do it, but I thought this is not really much of content. It's just the streamline where if you're unsure in Australia, there's no more medical examination required. But anyway, let's have a look. I've digged this out from Migration Alliance information. It's a little bit outdated because this is back on Tuesday, 18th of October. Well, look, there's not really much to say about this, apparently. Now, obviously, if you are, let's have a read anyway. The Australian government streamlined requirement temporary visa applicant in Australia. So if you lodge visa in Australia, well, the biggest loser here is the medical centers. They no longer can make money from visa applicants. Damn. But anyway, I think the Australian government just, they just don't want to, they want to ditch that processing time. If they are already in Australia, why would they still be a threat with potential medical thing? Really, I'm not too sure. Anyway, but it's only for temporary visa applicant though. So if you're applying for permanent visa applications, you still need to go through it. So have to apply medical treatment, incur medical costs, intend to work, hospitalized age, pregnancy, age over 75, request do so by a department. But look, I still get email from immigration requesting applicant to do a test. I wrote back to them and said, look, I thought this is already ditched. No more. Anyway, let's see how they respond. So that you see there's still lack of communication in between the government themselves. So these subclasses, if you lodge unsure, no longer required to go through medical checks, and they are 401, 403, 405, 407, 408, 410, working holiday visas, 461, 476, 482, 485. So technically, all the subclasses starting with 4 no longer require. And if you're lodging student visa, no longer require. Student visa guardian no longer required to go through medical checks. And 600 visa, 870, 995 diplomatic visa category. So that's a good news for a lot of people. You save a lot of money, but the biggest loser again is the medical center, and that's going to be Bupa. Anyway, that's not what we really care about. So let's move ahead as the media article in regards to upcoming budget release in October by the Labour government, shall we? So this East Asia Forum, very good. Not too sure why they have published this information here, but it's actually coming from the former Secretary of Department of Home Affairs, Abu Rizvi, and University of Melbourne. Okay, so what does it say? Again, it repeats saying that the annual intake has increased and should set Australian pathway with faster population growth. Well, they need it for sure, because obviously pandemic, economic issues, inflations, and all that. What about the rise of US dollars? That's gonna cause all the the troubles and things. Okay. Population of most of these nations are projected both age faster. So, most of the whole Earth, the globe, is having the same issue, aging population. So, to fix this issue, obviously, we need a younger, skilled migrants, and also technology as well. So, the treasurer had been slow to recognize the impact of aging productivity in his 2002 and 2007. Basically, they're talking about the former treasurer. And in 2010, again, the former treasurer, now the current treasurer. We don't want to talk about histories here. The current treasurer, Jim Chalmers, who is going to announce a new budget on Tuesday, forecast a productivity growth rate of 1.2% per annum in his forthcoming intergeneration report 2023, but without major structural reform. Even this is likely highly optimistic, given the experience of the nation further down with the aging population again. So, what is the former secretary of department really looking towards? They got a lot of information. Obviously, this is coming from University of Melbourne, so this is more than likely to be some kind of studies. So they also take a look at the previous former immigration minister Peter Dutton back in 2017-18 significantly tightened employer-sponsored visa. Yes, and that was a problem that causing a lot of rejections, and I suspect the current government is going to fix it for sure, perhaps just to remove the red tape for a lot of unrequired expensive process of the working visa. So the Albanese government announced a job summit in 2022. We learned that already, and the significantly increased places state government nominated visa. And look, I haven't really seen much of activities going. For example, from our previous videos, that Victoria only used really tiny bits of the allocation they've been given. Don't know why, but the federal government is actually doing, probably just doing it as an example. They've been nominating subclass 189, inviting subclass 189 for more than 24,000 applications already. So they probably just want the state and the territory to follow through. Plus, the state and territory will actually get their actual quota by Tuesday, because before Tuesday they are still locked in with the interim allocation. Remember that I said, and that was planned back by the former government. So the new government will actually give more quota by Tuesday, 25th of October. Okay, let's have a look. Basically, this whole article isn't really talking much. It basically refer back to all the past records and things. To meet the shortfall, skilled migration policy with a better design student visa. Yeah, we understand that, but why is there still a lot of rejections there? I think they really need to look into the genuine temporary entry criteria, twist a little bit, relax a little bit to actually help it out. Finally, it appears Australia is now committed to using guest worker arrangements, which is not really too good. Whether or not there's going to be a agricultural visa, don't know. It will also be essential for those worker pathway training, skill work to permanent residency. So that's the thing that we let me just move that a little bit upwards. That's the thing that we wanted to read. That's the thing that we wanted to see. But this is merely a proposal, advice to the government. If they can actually work this out to remove the red tape for employment sponsored visa, get more of these training, skill work to permanent visa residency criteria, I think it will really move the nation back to where it was. Now, next article is more towards and more related to what we are looking forward in the coming days. So it's actually from, I think this is from where it's the major news article here with the title reading Immigration Places Increased, Visa Process Turbocharge in October Federal Budget. Exactly, that's what we wanted to see. Australian permanent migration had increased by 35,000 places. Visa processing time will be turbocharged in next week's budget. Have you been waiting, pending with a backlog delay for the past 2 or 3 years? Now here is the answer. Okay, now let's go back to the news article and have a read about them. Australian government migration intake has increased. Yes, we know that, and the turbocharge were 36.1 million fund, 100 extra staff by Tuesday. So again, there has been a lot of visa waiting, delay, and all that. Hopefully it will be fixed by next Tuesday, and that's why I predicted by end of this year and early next year everything will go back to normal. I mean, normal back is like the not the delay. I think normal, how I describe it, will be something like back in 2016 or 2017, because since the former Prime Minister Scott Morrison, Pin Dunham were there, everything has been delayed. Okay, now the increase of the annual quota, the number of state territory will be seeing massive increase from 11,200 last year to 31,000. That's exactly what I'm saying, because a lot of people had leaving the comments saying, look, there has been quota given to the state and territory government. Why are they still not actually using it? But look, this is exactly what I'm saying. The actual increase of annual intake is actually given out after Tuesday, 25th of October, the budget. Post-study work right international student will be extended to 4 years for bachelor, 3 years to 5 years for master degree, and 4 to 6 years for PhD graduates. The Minister of Immigration, Andrew Giles, has told there will be a lot more and done for more than millions and millions of visa. I think back on 14th of October, he already said that there has been already 2 point something million application has been finalized. The former coalition government had cut the migration funding for 875 million for 4 years. Well, as I said in my previous video, I don't think that will be fixed because that's a huge amount, but I think what the current government will be committed to is more budget and more migration quota to be given, so that will actually relieve the current backlog and the delay. Now let me have a look at the since I became, this is what the Andrew Giles has said, since I became minister, I've heard hundreds of stories of people waiting for their application, perhaps separated, not knowing what they will be, and business unable to plan their investments. Yeah, that's a big issue. And that has been talked about for the past years and years already. So there's a lot of chatting back and forth between the ministers and the Minister of Home Affairs. This is all basically about how the Albanese government has also announced a review on migration system by the end of February 2023. So if you haven't done so for your SIV, might as well just lodge it. Okay, apart from all that, I think this is all repeating the information. The current program allows 13,750 places in 2022 and 23, plus an extra 16,500 places over 4 years Afghan refugees. So they're giving more, and this is more about a repeating information that we have actually got. But again, why am I doing this video again? By knowing the information is actually repeating 2 days ago's video. Well, things coming from different channels of media or news articles. Again, if you have been following my channel, it's about a trend that the government is looking to pave. And from different angles of different publications, you can see the trend is coming in this way. And again, I can confirm, previous video I was predicting, but now with this news article today, the received information, that I can confirm that by Tuesday, everything will go much faster with more quota, more allocation of immigration officers there, and you may expect your visa to be invited and processed sooner. Anyway, should you have more questions or query, more than welcome to leave comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.